30 years. A long 30 years. Through success, through controversy, through near-death and triumphant revival, Doom has had a long 30 years. Despite the first game coming out in 1993 and the second less than a year later, there is still an active player base for most games in the series, and an astoundingly active mapping community for the early games. On December 10th, 2023, Doom had its 30-year anniversary. 2 days later, I turned 22. That's right, I was brought up in a post-Daikatana America. I am completely chronologically removed from the context surrounding Doom's development, release, and reception. I've heard tales, I've seen some gameplay, I know a few facts and details, I get the gist of it.
Doom.
But I'm sure there's nothing like the real thing. I have played a few other games in the series. When I was younger, I played a bit of Doom 3, but I barely remember it. Fast forward many years to when the marketing for Doom Eternal started making the rounds, and the visual design really caught my eye. I ended up getting Doom 2016. I had a great time with it. Eternal came out, I got it, and I loved it. I'm not sure what compelled me to play the original apart from general interest in the series. I just know that I had the idea for a video like this a long time ago, and I never did it until now. I'm very excited to go back to the beginning. I don't have much of a plan going into this, but I'm hoping that by the end of the DOS era of Doom, I will understand the love for these games and why some people are still taking heavy inspiration from them to this day. It's time to step into the shoes of a space marine, officially unnamed, unofficially Doom guy, and start off on Phobos, one of Mars's moons. Let's shoot some demons. Classic. I'm going to be showing you this first part unedited so you can see where I'm starting. I had to play through the first level for some testing, so this is 2 minutes of gameplay from somebody that knows where to go. This is also the gameplay of somebody that confidently chose ultraviolence, the hardest fair difficulty, after only testing the first level. We'll see how that goes. I don't play shooters often, especially not on my 7-year-old standard non-gaming PC, so I assume it goes poorly. Alright, enough about me, more about the game. I'm sure it's obvious to veteran players, but it still must be said, this game makes a great first impression. There is a reason that this map is so iconic you could have never even heard of Doom and might still recognize it. It feels a tad empty compared to what I'm used to, but that never really feels out of place. I'm sure people had the opposite feeling when this came out, given the games they had to compare it to. Even comparing it to id Software's previous game, Wolfenstein 3D, I mean it's in a completely different world. The level design has this theatrical flair to it. The massive windows, the stairs leading to armor that feels like it's on display, the dimly lit computer room, the zigzag path over a pool of nuclear waste with demons hurling fireballs at you. It's quite a spectacle. It also includes 2 of the only secrets I found this episode. I know there's another one though, I see that odd texture in the waste room. I just couldn't figure it out. Once I get to the end, you see me backtrack all the way to a button at the beginning. It might not be very hidden, but it is a secret. It opens up this wall, which leads to the outside. There's a mega armor here, which brings my armor to 200%. A small tunnel leads back to the end, where I could have just interacted with the wall to open it from the other side instead of going all the way back to the button. Oh well. There's another secret here too. It opens when you exit the waste room. Just some ammo. Done. And only 2 minutes past par, wow. Primo pistol gameplay as I try to conserve shotgun ammo, as if I need to. The pistol becomes nearly obsolete pretty quickly due to the constant stream of shotgun shells. There are these little alcoves. That's not the right word, whatever. They're a good addition. I'm glad that small side areas like this are ever present throughout the game. No entry until I get a red keycard. Watch as I enter this room, blow myself up, and then completely miss the red keycard. Maybe I just got distracted by all the sounds outside. It can be pretty intimidating hearing all these angry growls from enemies that you can't even see. Who knows? It doesn't take me long to come back. You know, part of me wonders how shallow these sludge pits must be for Doomguy to be able to walk through them so easily. I immediately see what that button did, and I am certainly pleased. This lighting is very effective. I'd be interested to see exactly how the lighting in this game works, because it really does work. The blinking here can be pretty headache-inducing, but I can see why they did it, especially with how maze-like this area is. I'll come back, but for now, I decide to explore a bit more. Now that's an alcove, and an obvious secret. Just a window to the real secret, huh? Oh well. You know, it's funny, when the platform first dropped, I thought that I might die here. All these enemies in such a tight space. 15 seconds later, I'm at full health in an almost empty room. Having to worry about getting shot at from above made that room far more stressful. It's a nice touch. Well, I found the end, so back to the maze. I like how you can see me whip around once I realize that this is probably a secret. Useful, but not the source of all the noise. Oh, I guess it's just this guy. And only 6.5 minutes past par, wow. That dead Marine is a bit concerning. So I see the Pinky for the first time and I think, oh cool, I know that one. Then I see the Predator from the 1987 hit film Predator. I guess no one had a shotgun in that movie. I don't know, I've never seen it. I didn't mention earlier, these are called imps. And they seem to be in the walls because I can't see any more here. I know I said it last map, but it's nice to have so many optional areas, even if they're small. Jesus. He jump scared me. The camouflage actually worked up close. I now know that this is called a specter, and that pinkies are just called demons and wouldn't officially be called pinkies until the reboot. I will continue to call them pinkies. Wrong keycard, bozo! What's with everyone on this precarious walkway? That's dangerous for one person, let alone like 10. There should be some handrails at least. See? Handrails. Now, being someone that can spot an obvious trap sometimes, I'm a little uneasy here, but I have nowhere else to go. Did I mention I panic easily? Ah, my first death. This is also where I remember that this game has no autosave, because why would it? In 1993? And I'm usually so good with saving in games, I don't know how I forgot here. There is a way to restart the level, but I wouldn't know that until later, so I decided to record another day. I also recorded vocals for the first 2 episodes for some reason. I won't be using that audio a lot, because I don't say much, but my keyboard sure does. Alright, quick montage. I found that secret completely on accident. Chainsaw, sick. And we're back. I still blew myself up, but at least I'm alive. I feel like I was just about to say, I feel like I'm missing a secret. Sick. Just some health, actually. I go back to get the yellow key card that I forgot, and then finally progress to the next room. Would they have just been trapped in there forever if nobody came for that keycard? After getting completely owned by this guy and running around to get my health back, I can finally open the blue door. Snazzy stairs. And that's it. Alright, obviously I'm not going to meet these times. Still, kind of funny to see the discrepancy between my time and the part-time. Three pathways to go to and 3 windows to parts of the upper floor. Even just in this starting area, I got the feeling that I was going to be doing a lot of exploring. I wasn't. I immediately take an elevator up just to get teased by the soul sphere. That gives you an extra 100% health, so it can take you up to a 200% max. I blow up half of these enemies, and then, being the blind man that I am, overcome with bloodlust, jump straight down into this canal while trying to chainsaw the imps. You might notice that I'm playing a bit more frantically and making more mistakes than in the first couple of maps. I think that's because I was recording my voice and I wasn't fully focused. Why did I do that? I get used to it eventually. Returning to the starting area, I go down the 3rd path. You know, it's funny, I remember feeling like this was a lot of enemies to have in one room, especially when even more popped out behind me. If only I knew how easy I had it, huh? Wait, didn't I say something like that like 2 maps ago? I make quick work of the imps inside the octagon, and grab my first chain gun. Luckily, I don't have to wait long to try it out. Wow, that's a fun one. I feel like it'd be great at mowing down large crowds of demons. If only I could test that theory. Well, that was fun. Hey, yellow keycard. Oh, I know this room. This room used to be, something else, in reference to Wolfenstein. Not anymore. Short map. Remember that room I said felt like it had a lot of enemies? That's pretty much every encounter in this map. Not to say that it's hard, they go down pretty easily. This specter caught me off guard, but it's as weak to chainsaws as the pinkies are. I take the time to clear out these windows because it's not like I need to save ammo. From here, I can see where I need to go next, and from here, I can see where I need to go next, which is where I already was. Rude. I feel like half the demons I've killed have been through windows. Alright, yellow door, bang bang, elevator. Oh man. I did it again, I didn't save. Yep, forgot to save again. Luckily, I tried saving after death. Obviously, they're not going to make you start the entire episode over every time that you die. I just didn't know how to restart a level. You do lose everything apart from a pistol when you restart though. So my first go, I ran out of pistol ammo and died fighting. My second, I immediately go for a shotgun. After managing to get out of the first area alive and completely whiffing this explosive barrel? After managing to get out of the first area alive and completely whiffing this explosive barrel, things go more or less the same as before. That is, until I fall off of this bridge, see a discolored texture, open up a secret panel to find a ton of armor, health, and a rocket launcher, then use said rocket launcher to blow myself up. I guess I just forgot the entire concept of splash damage. Also, I forgot to save again, so time to restart, woo! Run through, save, rockets. I made it back to the room. I get a better start by using this barrel to kill all but one of the first group. More flood the room coming out of these areas that were previously sealed off. You might remember something similar from map 3 when I picked up that blue keycard. These are a common design element in Doom maps, official and fan-made, colloquially known as monster closets. Expect to see them many more times. Despite running into several demons face first, I managed to make it out alive. Save. Jeez. Oh, of course. No, of course the pillars come down and they have enemies on them and I get taken down to 6% health. At least I have stim packs. This wall is open now and it's a good thing I was here already. Now I only have a few left. It wouldn't be that bad if I had more health, which I'm sure I could have found easily. Behind this alcove, I found a radiation suit making me immune to all damaging floors. Would you believe I phrased it that way in the script before looking at the wiki? Not super useful right now. I used the pillars to get these bullets and this mega armor before returning to where I died. Save. Rockets, 1 shotgun blast, good. The second Spectre caught me off guard. To cap off this roller coaster, this room. In this room, the lights are rarely bright enough to make out anything. If that wasn't bad enough, there are more specters in this room, and I'm getting pretty tired of saying that name. Oh, this is terrible. This is hell. Oh boy. You only get a glimpse of them for a moment when the lights are brightest, so you either have to react swiftly or shoot where you think they're going to be. Luckily, it's a small-ish room. It's over before you know it. Just a little scary. That 9 minutes is not true. It took me 20. Perhaps the least memorable starting area. Not much going on. This big room's fun though. I waste these barrels to kill 2 zombie men. Not that it really matters. As you might have noticed, if an enemy shoots another one, they start infighting like Minecraft skeletons. That feels like a weird reference to make when talking about Doom, but it works. The friendly fire helps, but I don't let them do all the dirty work. Chain gun, my beloved, you've returned to me. That was a hell of a room. Let's see what... I guess I'm not dying or running out of shells then. Red door leads to a double kill, and a few more guarding the blue keycard. Of course, before I can grab it... And another not-so-secret hole in the wall. You spoil me. Health, run across, armor, and then there's a couple of new ones. I had no idea what partial invisibility meant, even after playing the whole game. I thought that maybe it made you invisible until you aggro an enemy, but I found out later that wasn't true. It lowers the accuracy of anyone shooting at you. That's it. I thought that I got hit by something behind me, but no, it was the pinky at the top of the elevator. Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to explain something. All enemies, all explosions, and the player are, as some like to put it, infinitely tall. This isn't true for interacting with the map's geometry, but for interacting with each other, the z-axis is mostly irrelevant. Beyond that, you probably noticed that I'm never looking up or down. That's because that wasn't a feature in the original. The way that the game is rendered makes too much vertical camera rotation a bit disorienting. Despite this, I can still hit enemies higher or lower than me. The game takes over vertical aiming for me because if it didn't, I'd be helpless against any demon with the ability to walk up a few stairs. Many of these quirks are just the results of optimization, making sure that the game engine runs well on heavily limited hardware compared to what we have today. Stuff like that is far too interesting and deep for me to really get into in this episode, but I thought it would be important to bring up. Alright, where am I? All these rooms look the same. An arrow of helmets kindly points to exactly what I need. A map. Now, there is the auto map, a map that slowly reveals itself as you progress through the level, but I completely forgot that it existed. That power-up unveils the entire map at once. This switch opens a green wall that I bumped into earlier where I get my final keycard and yet another ambush. I come back here to find more demons, which I dispatch with ease. A bit too much ease, actually. I'm still on ultraviolence, right? I feel like I'm getting way too many pickups for this to be challenging. Also, irradiated goo doesn't seem to hurt Hellspawn. I take the rad suit and go to the only place where it would be of any use, this little river back here. It just leads to more supplies, some cannon fodder, and a supercharge. Nice. I wonder what's behind this door. So I guess that was just a shortcut to a later part of the level, beloved by speedrunners, I'm sure. Switch. I mean, I might as well use my rocket launcher since I have so many rockets to spare. Putting explosive barrels in such a tight space is a great way to make me put more thought into some of these shots. Huh. Big room for so few monsters. Remember how I said I panic easily? So I died again, and oh, it's been so long since I saved. Keycard ambush, radiation river. Kill, switch, kill, kill, kill. I'm ready this time. I wasn't ready this time. I almost died because I didn't realize just how stuck I was. Is that an invisible wall? Huh. I didn't know where to go next until I opened the map and realized I never actually pushed the button. You invisible bastards don't scare me anymore. This one doesn't move for some reason. End level. Rocket launcher. No rocket launcher. They just keep coming, huh? I'm honestly embarrassed. Horrible gameplay. This map felt like a maze to me, so if you find yourself feeling lost when I cut around, don't worry, I was too. Unless that's just me, in which case double embarrassing. I take full advantage of all of these windows, even trying to shoot those 4-pixel specks in the distance before almost dying to an imp that snuck up on me. I go up this elevator, and I am so lucky that I got to the medkit before I got blasted. Keycard in hand, I enter this room to find few demons, but there's this annoying platform that's so high up, it took me a minute to realize that there was anyone up there. I am once again grateful for the lack of buckshot in my stomach, as I gather a few bits of health and save for the first time in like 10 minutes. Big pillar. It has a surprise. Confetti! Alright, I see the blue keycard there. I just don't know where there is. I do get the red keycard easily though, and did somebody say monster closets? You know, given the fact that I pretty much always feel like I have a decent bit of ammo, and I really have never had a need to switch weapons, just going shotgun pretty much the whole time, I understand why people don't think of this as like a hard difficulty. I genuinely thought it would be a lot worse. I've only died a couple times. This area behind the big pillar doesn't really have anything apart from some enemies. Nice, but not progress. I run around for a few minutes trying to find something to do before I decide to look for the blue keycard. But instead of using the map, I just try to search the general area that the door would be in. I don't find it, run around some more, and finally notice the button at the top of the big pillar. But for some reason, I never think to use the big pillar to jump over the railing. So I run around more, growing more tired of this map every second. Eventually, I manage to stumble my way into the right door. Where am I going? That's upsetting. That is very upsetting. Well, it's kind of pushed away into the corner, but I still feel like I should have found it sooner. More monster closets, who cares? Blue door, I plow through everybody I see. Push this button, they pour into the room, but it doesn't matter. They stand no chance, and I am too tired to be merciful. I make it to the exit, but I know that there's a way to get into this courtyard. I stop and consider finding a way in, but no, not worth. Almost 15 minutes. Consider yourselves lucky you got to skip most of that. I wish I had the same privilege. Hell of a way to start the map. Stim packs and a full map up here. The pinkies in the next room guard guns and ammunition. Well, it had to happen sometime. If this isn't a pre-boss gear-up room, I don't know what is. I take out my rocket launcher and prepare for battle. Yeah, so I backed myself into a corner and got surrounded. I decided to restart the level with a pistol instead of reloading a save. I don't know why, it wouldn't have taken that long to get back with all of my weapons, which would have been very useful, but no, pistol start. I get back and immediately do the same thing while going for the ammo in the corner. I don't even make it out of the starting area before doing it a third time. Eventually, I get another chance and I make it more than a few seconds. After I take out a few specters, I can finally get acquainted with the Barons of Hell. Barons plural, cause what's more metal than taking down one massive hulking demon that hurls green fireballs at you? Taking down two of them, in a room shaped like a pentagram. I get partial invisibility and get out before I can die to those barrels. I assume it helped because the battle is honestly kind of a breeze from here. They die with little fanfare, which is fitting since they're not that hard to take down. The walls lower down to reveal a large, open area containing nothing but the exit.
Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this? It's not supposed to end this way. It stinks like rotten meat, but looks like the lost Deimos base. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. The only way out is through.
That was fun. A few thoughts. The backtracking wasn't bad, which is an accomplishment. I did feel like I had way too much ammo. Sometimes it was just a lot of shotgun shells, but the shotgun is a consistently useful weapon. I rarely felt the need to switch to anything else. I feel like most of the time, my engagement was coming from the level design, not the combat. Not inherently a bad thing, the level design is fantastic, but I just wasn't feeling much from the combat by the end of it. That might be why I floundered so much in the few places where it actually felt challenging. I wasn't really in a strategic headspace for them. I think that's my only real gripe for the episode. I do think that health pickups were spaced out pretty well. The secrets I found felt rewarding, so it always felt worth looking for them. All around, great experience. So what happened to Doom Guy? It feels kinda ambiguous. The story is really only told through these short end screens. Well, apart from the backstory. That's told in the manual, which I wish I thought to read before finishing the game. A lot of useful information in there, like save your game and save it often. It also really sets the mood for the game with how it's worded. Welcome to Doom, a lightning-fast virtual reality adventure where you're the toughest space trooper to ever suck vacuum. To escape Doom, you need both brains and the killer instinct. Amazing. It's also an easy way to disprove the idea that this game didn't have mouse controls upon release, which is a strangely common belief. So, to paraphrase the story, You play as a space marine who was sent to Mars after beating the shit out of a superior officer for ordering his soldiers to fire on innocent civilians. You're brought to a remote facility provided to the military by the Union Aerospace Corporation.
The UAC is a multi-planetary conglomerate with radioactive waste facilities on Mars and its 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. With no action for 50 million miles, your day consisted of sucking dust and watching restricted flicks in the rec room.
Throughout the 3 years that you spend there, the military is experimenting with interdimensional space travel, essentially teleportation. They've been pretty successful, but as time went on, the gateways became unstable and the volunteers being sent in either don't come back out, or come back as vulgar, violent lunatics, rampaging until they suffer an untimely death of full body explosion. Matching heads with torsos to send home to the folks became a full-time job. God, this fucking rules. The military reports this as a minor setback. A few hours before the game starts, Mars gets a message from Phobos requesting military support. Something fraggin' evil is coming out of the gateways. The message becomes too garbled to understand, and shortly after this, Deimos is gone. Not the base, the entire moon is no longer in the sky. Attempts to contact either moon are unsuccessful.
You and your buddies, the only combat troop for 50 million miles, were sent up pronto to Phobos.
You are ordered to secure the perimeter. As you do, over the span of hours, over the radio you hear gunfire, screaming, bones cracking before it all stops. You're left as the only survivor, armed with a pistol since the heavy weapons went to the poor souls that went inside. Without any way to get off of Phobos on your own, you enter the facility. Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? The nuclear waste everywhere, the dead Marines on the ground, the living Marines shooting me in the face. Those enemies are even described as former humans in the manual. They're alive, just not the people that you knew. So Doom Guy fights his way through these facilities, picking up weapons and putting down demons before walking into a gateway. That's the story. So, did he die? Get knocked out? Teleport to hell? Well, maybe he teleported to Deimos, cause that's where he ends up. A giant inverted cross is a strong way to start the episode. And it hurts when I touch it. Guys, it's just a keycard. Calm down. There's nowhere else to go but into this, a teleporter. I should mention that the episodes don't flow into each other like individual maps do, so I start off with just a pistol. Never mind. This pedestal drops into the pool of blood, this one doesn't. Yeah, thought you'd get me, didn't you? I have no idea what that did. I decided to check back where I came from in case I couldn't get back from that teleporter. So it opened up another teleporter. Oh my god. Cacodemon. Uh-oh. Yes, a new enemy, the Cacodemon. Ignore the holes on its back, please. I'm not dying here. A big meatball with a mouthful of lightning. Luckily, I accidentally grabbed the plasma rifle. The plasma rifle rapid fires projectiles, so I have to put a bit more thought into shooting distant targets. You might be thinking, don't all guns shoot projectiles? Nope. In Doom, half of your guns are hit scan weapons. Think of it like you're shooting out a laser, or in the case of a shotgun, multiple lasers. If someone's in the path of the laser, they get hit. And this happens instantly, no matter the distance. Bullet spread still exists though, no sniping with a chain gun. Oh, another teleporter. I want to kill all these pinkies first. Well, when I say it like that, it sounds like a slur. Oh, guess I missed my chance. A few more guard the blue door, which leads to, would you believe it, yet another teleporter. Not much happens in this room apart from a cacodemon in an enclosed space. Why would you do this? Why would you do this to me? This button activates the stairs to get to a more useful button. Just a wall in here? No, it's actually an even tighter space for a fight with the cacodemon. This encounter doesn't last long. They're actually not that bad once you get used to them. Get out of here. Just a big room with a bunch of boxes. Nothing too crazy. I spent about 25 minutes total here. Remember when I said that I had too much ammo in the first episode? Well, they fixed it. It's all gone. My terrible aim doesn't help either. At least I get a few more shotgun shells. What's he doing back there? I think I know what this health pack is, so I'm saving it for later. Instead of going to the significantly more interesting area, I chose to fool around the boxes some more. I went up this convenient stack and saw more imps than I had ammo for. No, really, more than I had ammo for. I resorted to running blindly. If you've played this before and are thinking of the obvious solution where I wouldn't have cornered myself and would conserve ammo, trust me, I know. 4 shells means I have to get close to make all these shots count. Luckily, I found some more. I still didn't go in there. Instead, I'm trying to clear out the cargo area with the commando equivalent of cartoon moths coming out of my wallet. That feeling of being outnumbered throws me into another panic. I went for the only box of shells that I saw, but I forgot that enemies can blow up the barrels too. I did not save. Well, the plasma rifle was good while it lasted. I might as well go in here first, just to see what's going on, right? More imps, that's what. I let this pinky finish off the last one. I used the last of my bullets and had to resort to beating this demon to death with my bare hands. Unfortunately, punching won't work as well with multiple enemies. There's some shells behind this hydraulic thing. Not enough though, and I corner myself again. Luckily, most of them don't walk on these moving parts. Unluckily, projectiles. I have no idea how I got out of that. Well, it's nice to know that's not an insta-kill. I'm just a man looking for some ammo. There we go. Oh no, I didn't even see that. Okay, please leave. Oh boy. Oh, great. Oh, this is so cool, so cool. I love this. Somehow, I made it out and into a different area. Lots of deep blues. I like it, apart from the floor that does 10 damage. Why does it do that? More ammo. This map is massive. Okay. Please tell me there's nothing behind me. Well, I was right. There's nothing behind me. Unfortunately, that also means no exit. Oh my god. There's a few more behind this panel. And some supplies. After my third near-death experience, I finally saved. So remember that odd-looking medkit? Well, it's called a Berserk Pack. It boosts punching damage. That's why I saved it. Very cool, very useful. Expect to see me use it poorly. I'll tell you why later. I found a ton of shells behind this box, which also opened up a shortcut. There's another door here, and it looks the same as the starting door, but that's definitely not where I started. Curious. This is a lost soul.
Dumb, tough, flies, on fire, nuff said.
Oh, I'll have more to say about them later. This isn't a secret area, by the way, I'm just dumb. The yellow keycard is accessible now. Only upon rewatching this footage did I notice the lights at the top marking the right path. I only remember one other yellow door. Feels a bit dramatic. I just pressed the first one and it gives me a rocket launcher. Oh, I guess I only get one choice. Shame. Now what? Came back to this room to get the chainsaw. Seems emptier than before. Never mind. The chainsaw would have probably been a decent choice of weapon here if there weren't about 10 of them. It's nice to know that the crushers don't discriminate. The blue keycard was at the end of the crusher hallway this whole time. I didn't even need the yellow one. I immediately use it to collect the red one. Why not just give me the red one? I open this red door and it just leads to a switch. The switch could have been where the blue keycard was, and nothing would have changed. Neither of those keys needed to be there. Whatever, end of level. 15 minutes, I'm shocked. Vines? That feels a little out of place if I'm being honest. It's so distracting to me that I don't just walk backwards when I get stuck in this indent in the wall and the pinkies demolish me. It was the vines, I tell ya. I never learn my lesson, do I? Well, I tried one of these other buttons while I'm here. You can hit them all, it's just that taking the rocket launcher makes them go back down. They just have more demons and ammo. I use a much more effective weapon against these lost souls and leave with more health. Never mind. And it's like it never happened. Vines. Wow. For some strange reason, I take this partial invisibility instead of saving it. For a stranger reason, I didn't just kill this zombie man. Yep, should have killed him. The Baron returns! Eat lead! Really ate all the lead, huh? I have to be able to make it in there, even if I get a bit hurt. Why does blood hurt me anyway? I'm so lucky I picked up that mega armor. So I found the blue door, but there's also this whole path here. I enter and the meat pistons start moving. Well, that sounds inappropriate. This room just leads back to the other side. Behind the blue door lie some enemies and nice lighting. I don't think I've ever played a game with this many skylights before. It's nice. What's not nice is another strobing light section. Well, at least the lost souls glow. There's still so many of them though. That's why they're so annoying. They almost always come in packs, meaning you either have to take cover to stay out of their sight, or spread your shots out between them so they stay stunned too long to charge at you. The latter option pretty much forces you to use the chain gun or the plasma rifle. Another pool of waste leads to the end, after a cacodemon. You can even see where you started from. I realized while writing this that I never actually went back into that room that I died in. Oh well. this? I was expecting a large crowd of demons, if I'm being honest. That didn't work very well. Oh, that's a long hallway. Am I getting shot from all the way down there? Wow, that's crazy. There's no way I would remember to come back here if there was a switch for these bars somewhere else in the map. I found the switch. That was loud. Nice to get stocked up, though. Just a severed leg. Gaming. I'm not locked in here with you, etc., etc. You can see me switch through my weapons to see how much ammo I have. I do this because throughout the entire game, I do not ever use the very convenient panel at the bottom right of the screen. I really mean ever. I don't know why. I knew it was there, I just never used it. I wonder how much it would have helped. What are these eyes? You think you can get me with crushers? I'm sure you will later. I thought that this wall might open up and have a Baron of Hell or something behind it. Guess it was a warning. Down this hallway is a cacodemon taking up the whole hallway. I tried to fight it up close and personal, and hey, they got me with crushers. Nope. Good thing I saved. While I'm back here, I test the chainsaw's effectiveness on cacodemons. Better than expected, but still not without risk. They don't always get stuck like the pinkies do, so if you're unlucky, they can still shoot at you. I find a second Baron to take all of my ammo, and a suspiciously placed yellow keycard. Opening this door, we find some aggressive contrast between rooms. I don't hear any demons around. How did I restart that fast? I died a few more times before I started looking around for more health. Man, this map is open. Some of these areas feel like you took a normal map and doubled its size. The spaces are wide, the ceilings are high. It's just so empty. It feels like there should be mechanical equipment against the walls or something. Obviously there's only so much detail they could have put into the map, and I still appreciate what they've done here. Oh hey, a berserk pack. The fact that it doesn't seem to do much against the Baron of Hell might be where I started to doubt its usefulness. Still, high health means I don't die to these shotgunners, and I'm better prepared for the mob that I'm about to face. Before heading down, there is this hole here. I got some plasma cells and entered a teleporter to a place I'd rather not be. Sprinting into another teleporter, I once again avoid the death trap. What are those faces doing in there? Well, no way forward apart from jumping down here. Never mind. Oh, there's a button here. Sick. Nope, back in. Alright, end of level. I don't have the health to look around in there. I named my save file Die because I probably will. Gotta be careful here. Low health, low armor, low ammo. I gotta save ammo even if it's risky to use the chainsaw here. I no longer have to be careful. I leave the Berserk pack for now. Still not great on ammo though, and it's about to get worse.
Where did you all come from?
Man, I'm just trying to get some health. You know what, I'm taking the Berserk pack. Here, I was once again faced by 2 Barons of Hell, though the Spectres have been replaced by 2 Cacodemons rising up from below the platform. That, and these heads on pikes being a tad inconvenient in regards to movement. Both of the Cacodemons got killed through infighting, and I managed to navigate the pikes to kill the Barons. I do a little celebratory save and move on. It's kinda weird how much wood and brick there is in this episode. The first episode looked like a sci-fi facility, which makes sense, that's what it is. This is supposed to be the same thing but on Deimos, right? I feel like I'm in a castle in the jungle. More hanging corpses as well. Oh, of course there are lost souls here now.
What?
Splash damage. How many were there? Jeez. There's another Baron across the way, I just need to wait for the right moment. It was the wrong moment. Different door this time. It's got some supplies, a radiation suit, and another door. 2 out of 3 of my least favorite enemies. Wicked. What a fleshy room. Oh look, there's the Baron that I died trying to shoot. There was another path earlier, let's check that out. Well, there goes my radiation suit, but surely there was somewhere I could go from there. 76% gone. Oh, what a fool am I. A panel at the bottom of the stairs opens up and has something that would have been helpful about 30 seconds ago. Oh, now it opens. These doors all lead to the same place. The pillar has a plasma rifle on it, not the most useful. This isn't actually that difficult of a section, I just kept taking shots to the face until I was at 1 health. I decided to run for the armor, not expecting an imp to stop me long enough for me to get shot. I didn't save. What am I doing? I even checked the map to remind myself of how much progress this save has on it. Next to none. Great. I just started running. I went further down this hallway to another place that I hadn't been to yet. There are just so many places. I killed these imps poorly, then opened the door to find a great way to express my frustration, chainsawing pinkies. I fondle a skull, and there are stairs here now. I take the hint and get haha funny pranked to death. There might have been more there than lost souls, but I wouldn't know. I never remember to go back in there. Surely there's nothing interesting or special in there. Back to the pillar area, I barely make it to this teleporter that takes me back to the start. I am disoriented. I'm not saving! That was the first save that I had made in 20 minutes. Finally, actual progress. Out from behind the wall bursts a stampede of pinkies. They are no match for hot lead. They are no match for me. The only match for me is myself. Or, you know, the 5 or so demons that killed me pretty easily. Again. I win. Hooray! Thank God the exit's right there. So much going on in one map. Or maybe I just get overwhelmed easily. Either way, the time it says I got is only half as long as it actually took. I take just as long in the next one, too. The last level made me a tad paranoid. Gonna be honest, the music is not helping here. Might as well try to save some ammo with the chainsaw. The red room kinda looks like a death trap, but it just opens up a hidden passage. This place looks like a battle arena. Am I crazy? It feels like the walls are going to come down and there's going to be 3 of every demon ready to tear me apart. All that actually happens is that the floor drops and I have to skip across the sludge to hit a button that opens up another hidden passage. I'll have to come back here once I get a blue skull. Oh, it's right there. Uh-oh! They snuck up behind me! Whatever will I do? It's like they enjoy having their faces shredded. So now, instead of keycards, I am tasked with finding skulls, which makes no sense at the moment. There was not any chance of me going in there until I had to. Instead, I made my way to the vent room. Do buildings have vent rooms? This door clearly does not want me to enter. I'm not sure why, it doesn't seem that dangerous. Dodged. Found the exit? Weird room. Some lost souls guard these supplies. Can you guess what happens when I pick them up? You know, sometimes I feel like I'm pretty good at this game, but then I corner myself the instant I get ambushed. That crusher had enough screen time for me to know it was there. Still died. I admit defeat for now. Oh, I thought there'd be more to this room and that I'd be locked in without the yellow skull. Nope. Time to leave. Alright, man. There's no way I can exit already. There's so much map I didn't see. Oh, well, I guess I can. Alright, okay, you got me. I mean, I was suspicious of the other room, but I thought that when I interacted with the door, it wouldn't open and maybe the walls would lower and have a bunch of enemies or something. No, the door was fine, but the button, not fine. You put a fake exit in your video game. There were 2 exit signs. It should have been a double exit. This doesn't go anywhere, by the way. It just loops back. There's no reason to go in there. It just wastes ammo and health. Might as well check out the other vent room. I guess it's more like a vent hallway. At this point, I had explored everything except for the beckoning darkness. So this place is kind of like the maze with the flickering lights from the first episode, but wooden and bigger and with slanted walls and with harder enemies and with more enemies and with fewer lights, and you need to go through it to get the last skull so you can end the level. Fun. Those sounds concerned me until I saw what they were. It would have been a disaster if they were more spread out.
I might not make it.
Never mind. I stumbled into some stim packs and the red skull key is right there. Time to find my way out. I could have just used the auto map. Is that a Baron? No, you're joking.
Why do I never say?
I take a slightly different path in the beginning, which is good. I get to clear these guys out so I don't have to deal with them when I go to leave. I play fast and loose this time, which works better than I thought it would. Then I find the light amplification visor, and it takes all my worries away. Believe it or not, being able to see helped quite a bit. I got the red skull and made my way back to the Baron. I ended up wasting half of my rockets, but I got the job done, didn't I? Save, you absolute fool. Grab the mega armor and leave. Dude, I just got here. Give me a second. I guess this place is underground. There's just rock walls. Ah, the triumphant return of my favorite texture in the game, this blue carpet looking one. There's a hallway with a cacodemon, light work, then a bigger hallway with a Baron of Hell, all the way down there. Still, light work. In trying to make the most out of my invulnerability, I got stuck for the first time. I never noticed that door last time. I waste some ammo here, but eventually I do remember my chainsaw. Moving on. The next section is pretty frustrating to watch back. Not because I had a hard time with it or anything, but because of how brain-dead stupid I was being. So I noticed the invulnerability and the berserk pack. I saved them for later. I open this pathway to see a singular cacodemon in the arena and decide that I need the power-ups. The cacodemon goes down, but I guess not fast enough, because not only do I lose faith in the power of my punch, I don't even use the chainsaw. I'm invulnerable. Maybe I thought that the damage boost also applied to guns, but still, I could have saved so much ammunition. Whatever. This door doesn't open. Might as well see what's behind the blue door since I have the keycard. Oh yeah, wait, we're back to cards now. Huh. It's a bit odd to say, but my immersion really ramped up when I stepped into this hallway. It just feels like an actual building. If you told me that part of this map was a recreation of a real place, I might believe you. Even with how little detail they could really put into these maps, many rooms feel like they had a purpose for being overrun by demons. It feels like this is what some of the maps in episode 1 were trying to do, but they didn't quite get it. Looking at the map, you might notice how tightly packed everything is. I made it back to where I fell last time. I had the red keycard, but I knew I had a Baron that I wanted to kill first. Still no clue what these eye things are all about. This looks like a mineshaft. The glowing red rocks are probably worse for your health than coal dust, though. There's a hole over here that leads to a rocket launcher and a teleporter. For some reason, I tried to get to the door instead of going back through the teleporter. It took me a second to realize that I restarted the map. Okay, dude. I finally got back to the Baron, whom I valiantly and effortlessly defeated. Then, I went back to get this switch, but I don't know what it did. I looked around for a while, but gave up before checking out that big grayed out area in the top left of the map. I'm sure it was nothing. He's not having a good time. Oh, they're not having a good time. This is certainly a boss, and to prepare I only get rockets and a supercharge. I hope that's all I need. I could hear something stomping around out there, but I didn't see anything. That's a good sign that I should find it before it finds me. With how open this map is, you might think that the boss would be either too big to fit into a smaller map, or fast enough to keep the player running around mostly unobstructed. Nope. This is such a massive wide open area. What could I possibly be? That's what I could be fighting. That's the Cyber Demon. It shoots rockets and does nothing else. Trust me, I checked the wiki, which also says that it's the fastest moving monster. I'm already on the other side of the map. With so much space to run around, and with these massive pillars for cover, I don't know how you could even die to it without standing still and just letting it shoot you. To be fair, I couldn't really see the rockets behind the plasma shots. Okay, there's no way he kills me a second time. Why is he here? He didn't do that before. See? Easy. The rockets don't even come close, as long as I keep running and shooting, and I forgot to pick up the supercharge. I can't see every detail of the Cyber Demon, but from what I can see, I like its design. A rocket launcher for an arm, and one big hydraulic hoof. Looks pretty cool. Oh, it's dead.
You've done it. The hideous Cyber Demon Lord that ruled the lost Deimos moonbase has been slain, and you are triumphant. But where are you? You clamber to the edge of the moon and look down to see the awful truth. Deimos floats above hell itself. You've never heard of anyone escaping from hell, but you'll make the bastards sorry they ever heard of you. Quickly, you rappel down to the surface of hell.
That actually makes a lot of sense. It would be kinda weird for a military facility to suddenly switch from keycards to dyed skulls as a way to open doors. That also explains all the wood, the foliage, the gargoyle-esque faces on the walls, the skulls on pikes, the hanging bodies, the pools of blood. Honestly, I should have seen this coming. The level design is so different from the first episode, not just in the set dressing, but in the intricacy of each map as well. There was always so much. Sometimes it added a level of detail that really made the maps come to life. Other times, well, it could be a bit overwhelming. Some of these felt like pieces of 3 or 4 different maps welded onto each other. I could see the issue maybe stemming from attempts to interweave the UAC facilities with more hellish landmarks, but potentially understanding it doesn't make it more enjoyable. That sounded pretty negative. I think that I prefer the first episode overall, but there are a couple of maps here that are better than anything from the first. So, that was significantly harder than the first episode. I had to change my weapons so much more often, and it felt great. I'm so glad. Because with the first episode, I really was just using the shotgun like the whole time. The boss battle, not really much of a boss battle. While it's still kind of fresh in my mind. There's not much there, but still an intimidating enemy that killed me multiple times, so who am I to say it's not good? Gameplay-wise, it introduced a few new bits, several in the first map. The plasma rifle was a welcome addition to my arsenal. I never had much ammo for it, but it was great when I did. The Cacodemon hits hard and has a lot of health for a common enemy, but it's also a massive target. Visually, it brings a lot of flavor into the otherwise entirely bipedal cast of foes. Well, apart from Lost Souls. Not a fan of fighting them, but I can't deny that they were a good addition. They're like self-firing projectiles, and, contrasting the Cacodemon, they are very small targets. You have to keep your eye on them as much as possible, which makes things pretty frantic when you're also trying to fend off other demons. And the Baron of Hell is no longer a boss. Like the Cacodemon, strong and tough, but a big target. Teleporters are pretty cool. Not much else to say there. I can't remember any crushers in the first episode either. Huh. Well, I'm excited to see what episode 3 brings to the table. Let's get into it. Oh, it's an eye. What a horrible first sight. Fitting for a horrible first map. I'm sure I missed some stuff, but I still feel comfortable saying that this map is one of the least enjoyable in the game. It's not like it's long or really difficult, it's just slow and boring. This courtyard area is really the only interesting part. Tentacly floors, a bright red skybox, and dead trees. It feels strange to think about trees in hell. Tentacles don't exactly seem like fertile soil either. Anyway, did you know that in a hypothetical situation in which your pistol does max damage every shot and you never miss, it would take almost 11 seconds to kill a single Cacodemon? Well, here's 2. Riveting gameplay. When you go to pick up this shotgun, the floor falls from under you, so you have to run through the blood, which took 50% of my health. There's also some imps behind a fake wall there. I never did realize that I could run through that wall. In here, there's more imps and another Cacodemon, but I think this door texture is more interesting. I mean, look at the skulls. Skulls are cool. Slow and boring. I open this door and spend more ammo than I would like on a pinky. That sucks. But at least there's 4 more in a narrow hallway. So some of the music for this game was inspired by popular metal tracks of the time. People disagree on whether a song had an inspiration or not if it hasn't been confirmed that it did. Some of the ones that have been confirmed can be pretty hard to notice even after comparing the 2 songs. This one is not as subtle. It uses a riff from Mouth for War by Pantera. If you listen to that song, you'll hear it immediately. A lot of the soundtrack is about as obvious as that. Crazy what you could get away with back then. That took a minute and a half. This room has some supplies, but not enough to save me from bringing fists to a fireball fight. That sounded dumb. Gaming. On my second run, I pretty much did the same thing, but better, so I'll take this time to say that I got a new keyboard on the day that this started. This was an hour after I recorded that Binding of Isaac video too. Yes, I have spent that long chipping away at this. Hopefully my gameplay improves now that my inputs are consistently going through. I meant to pick up that health. Oh well. Yeah, I knew I had no chance. Worth a try, though. Pistol starting seemed like the only logical option until maybe I should go back. Oh, there's ammo too. Sick. I guess the shotgun might help. I'm gonna be honest, this map took me a while, mainly because I kept making very bad decisions. I'll explain a few reasons for that later. It didn't take a while because it was complicated, it's not. At least it's not slow like the last one. It just feels kinda small. This big area with the tall rock formations takes up most of the space on the map. Then there are these 4 caves and 1 side area in the open. The layout is a departure from earlier levels, but it makes sense with the more naturalistic design that makes you feel like you're in a canyon or perhaps a ravine. That, and the fact that it's shaped like a hand. The palm is tricky because of all these alcoves. Man, it's nice to say that word again. It's easy to fear what's lurking around the corner when there are so many corners to lurk around. Perish, 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 I'm begging you. Lost soul. I love Doom. The thumb has what I believe are pools of water? It also has a chain gun behind a wall. The wall ends up falling, so at first I assume it's on a timer of some sort. I realize after dying and coming back that walking into this pool of lava triggered it. I just opened it accidentally without taking damage the first time. The pointer finger starts with a firing squad of shotgunners and ends with a switch that lowers a wall to reveal a cacodemon. It also has some rockets and plasma cells. Trying to enter the middle finger opens up a monster closet behind you with a couple of specters, which are particularly difficult to see against so much gray. Inside is a winding path with lost souls around each corner, and when you make it to the end, oh look! More lost souls. I mean, it's like I've never played a video game before. How do I keep doing this? Want to see me do it again? This button gave me a supercharge, and the next button gave me a chance to prove my incompetence. Shameful. On to the ring finger. You don't even have any dukes to put up. You stand no chance. Wait, maybe I stand no chance. Yeah, I don't know what compelled me to do that, but I did it twice. There's a blue door back here. Finally, the pinky is only accessible through this crevice. There's a few dead marines and a blue skull. 3 of them. Right at the end, they had to throw that in. They're guarding a button, and I can't kill them, so I have to lead them away for a second. The button opens up one more wall. I didn't see the specters until I was right up against them. I decide to check out the blue door instead. Oh, that's the exit. Well, I might as well go back and get whatever was back there. Ah yes, a map at the most opportune time. He's coming right for me! This level is strange. Odd, if you will. Take this area. We're back to the wood, and there are these floating blocks that have fluorescent lights on the bottom. Also, tentacle windows. Scrolling textures, pretty cool. And then you walk up some stairs, and it's just a flesh maze. It's all pink and red, but it mostly just looks like skin, because back then they had to use very limited color palettes, but they still have this whole lighting system. Since there are only so many shades of the same color, sometimes you have to make compromises in darker areas. In most cases, this isn't much of a problem, but it is especially noticeable with pinks turning into browns and tans. This will be a source of frustration for me at a couple of points later in the video. Back to this weird map, there's just a room. A metal room with a skull. And skulls make me crazy. Why is this here? What purpose does this room serve? I go up a different elevator, and it takes me a second to realize why I'm getting hurt. That's 40% gone to evil walls. Huh. I'm just gonna let that happen for a bit. I never noticed the water on the ceiling. Neat. I like how it looks like the lion heads are only illuminating small parts of the hallway. I fully expect a secret passage in one of these dark areas. Or a not-so-secret passage, that's okay too. Hold on. I still don't know what these eyes are. Oh, it's a bridge. Cool. Oh god. That wasn't as bad as I thought. I guess that I didn't notice the giant lever on the wall. This suspiciously large but ultimately harmless room leads back to the pit. Remember what I said earlier about infinitely tall enemies and automatically aiming up and down? It means that you can shoot them without even seeing them. Well, when you manage to aim in the right spot, at least. Time to waste another berserk pack. I shot 3 imps, and oh, it's over. In this strange diagonal hallway, I open the door to find another baron. I open it a second time. Light work. After an imp massacre, I found the exit. There's a few more things to check out before I leave, though. This is a nice secret. That's all. There's this room where the ceiling is water and the walls are the floor and moving. Then there's this room with blood and a bit of lava for some reason. Alright, that's it, end level. The fact that they gave me a rocket launcher immediately is exciting, but concerning. Ah, that's what it's for. The floor in this room looks like it has a wound. I like it. There's 2 more in there, but with no way to kill them with what little ammo I had, I instead chose to run blindly into a teleporter. Okay. Shortly after going through it again, I found my saving grace. I still used all the ammo I picked up, but I got to punching eventually. I wonder if it'll be safer upstairs. I didn't realize at the time, but these walls are actually hairy skin. Gross and weird. I thought that there might be a button in one of these holes to let you get those items without dying. There was not. Well, at least not in that one. I only ever checked the one. Only the rightmost lever works, and it opens up the skin to let loose a pack of pinkies. Despite not knowing that the berserk pack lasts forever, I decided to beat them up to save as much ammunition as possible. I don't know why I'm punching so hard. Then there's this room. This room. A dungeon, it seems. Bodies of tortured souls hang for your viewing pleasure. A simple stim pack used as bait. I take the first path that I see, but alas, I am without blue skull key. In the cacophony, I panic, I shoot, I die. I return, prepared to take on my ambushers. Oh, there's more health in here. I'm good, I'm chilling. Everything... I'm not good, I'm not chilling. I am sandwiched between 3 demons. I die. I take another path to find lost souls in a Baron of Hell guarding the blue skull key. They are no match for my swiftness and dexterity. I open the blue door, then an obvious secret wall. I die. I die. I die. I fight my way through the demons, slowly but surely thinning the herd before making a break for the final path. I enter a small enclosed space. I die. I become frustrated, reckless. I die. I die. I die. I die. I die. I backtrack to look for supplies and find this secret room. A shotgunner comes out of nowhere and takes me back down to 3% health. I tend to something out of the game. I come back, I die. I load another save that starts me with more health. I go to the secret room again. I play foolishly. I decide to die on my own terms. I finally caught on to the berserk pack being permanent. Yeah, why don't I just punch them outright? Since I seem to be so strong all of a sudden. I make it past the ambush with most of my health intact. I fight to the supply room. The other door locks you in a tiny room with a cacodemon, so that's cool. Blue key, blue door, secret door. I chose not to save here because I knew that I could make it back with more health. I continue, I die. I hadn't actually gone through the real door yet, so I did. I was not expecting to find a cacodemon at the end of the hallway. Luckily, it somehow missed the explosive barrels. The few hellspawn on this side of the room lull me into a false sense of security until I find the other two cacodemons. I barely avoid getting trapped and make it out of the room into the more open and comfortable hallway. Theoretically, not the worst position to be in. The problem is that every time I open the door, I'm met with new faces to shoot. They're coming from a whole other room, and there are so many of them. I went into the room feeling prepared, but with the sheer number of enemies here, it's just not enough. I die. Damn. At this point, I was completely demoralized. I'm not in it right now, I'm gonna be honest. I truly don't even know how long I've been going, and it feels like I've been going for like 3 hours. And I've gotten through like 3 levels. I don't feel like I'm progressing, and I don't feel like I'm getting any better at the game. Look, I was just having a rough day. I started recording for this video in mid-November. I wanted to get it out by the 30th anniversary. By this point, I was pretty much certain that I wasn't going to be able to, but I still thought that maybe if I just tried a bit harder, I could have. It was also the most talkative I had been in any episode. I probably tried to focus more on the commentary, and I think that stressed me out more. Listening back to it, I was clearly irritated from the start. Trying to find something worth saying as I'm constantly dying and spending the majority of a 17-minute period in the same exact area didn't help. That stress, combined with these harder levels, led to me quitting well before the end of the episode after my 16th death. I think I'm done. I think I'm fully done. I'm not doing this. It also forced me to remember an unfortunate truth. I am bad at many video games. My reaction time is kind of slow, and I panic easily. I also get frustrated pretty easily when I feel like I'm playing poorly, and frustration makes me play even worse. Perhaps I was wrong to choose ultraviolence. Maybe I needed a more casual experience. I obviously did not choose a lower difficulty. Who do you think I am? I want to be able to replay the first episode and feel like a beast more powerful than any demon felled by my hand or awaiting my judgment. So after a couple of weeks, I came back to complete the episode from the beginning without recording my voice. How did I miss this? Was this just here? Alright, we'll get to that later. please note how much health and ammo I have. That's called improvement, folks. I never got a good look into these windows. There's actually a lot of detail back there. I tear through these demons with confidence and I get all of them. I even took down the Baron. I get back to the hallway, to the door, and I clear it out. I do just stand there and tank a few lightning balls for some reason. I get to explore this other room now, though. This side has some supplies, but behind this door, there's a lost soul. Oh, and another BFG. What? It's just there? Is the fact that it's not visible supposed to make it a secret? There's a button to press. Of course I'm gonna go there. Whatever, man. Oh, I didn't think I'd be interrupting something. Now I know that nothing good will come from interacting with this wall. Yeah, that seems about right. Well, this is as good a time as any to talk about the BFG 9000. The most powerful weapon in the game, takes plasma cells, great for crowd control and shredding bosses. The big energy ball does plenty of damage on its own, but after it hits something it shoots out a bunch of tracers with a wide spread. It's like a shotgun blast of death rays. Remember earlier when I was talking about hit scan weapons? These tracers work the same way. Massive range, vertical auto aim, you get it. For how much damage it does, it really doesn't use that much ammo either. There's no exit this way, so I guess that secret door wasn't meant to be a secret. So I enter with 160% health and proceed to the next area with 94%. Hey, it happens. The 8 buttons on these 2 columns might make you think that this room has some kind of puzzle to it. It really doesn't, they just open and close different doors. This one has the yellow skull, this one has the yellow door behind which is a red skull. This one has the red door which lets you progress. You can say that that's a puzzle if you want. Those medkits are concerning. I get that the floor hurts, but there could just be stim packs or something. Panicked again. Completely wasted it. It didn't matter much because I made proper use of the medkits when taking out the Pinky and the Cacodemon, so I didn't lose health anyway. Now, here's a much better demonstration of the power of the BFG than what you saw earlier. I didn't even know how the Baron died. After a bit of research, I can tell you that the tracers that come after the energy ball hits something actually shoot out of the player. So when I backed up into the hallway, the Baron was so close that he took a bunch of tracers to the face. I couldn't find any information on why the tracers don't come from the projectile. Maybe it was easier code-wise, maybe it made it feel less powerful. It's probably that they would just be completely tanked by whatever the ball hit, or, if they shot out at all angles, would mostly shoot backwards instead of where the player actually aimed. It's not intuitive, and I don't know if I ever truly understood how to use it until writing this, but it's still cool. Door, hallway, Cacodemon, kill it, and finally, we can move on from this map. House of Pain indeed. I guess I have a choice to make. Only one of the doors is lit up, but it's also the only one with corpses hanging above it. Surely it's not that bad. Oh, it's actually not that bad. The middle 2 doors just lead into this hallway. It seems like the only wrong door was the furthest right, though it's not much of a trap if you can just not walk in. I really like the look of these cracks in the walls. I like this map in general. I think that I prefer the more grounded, cohesive maps to the abstract ones. I like feeling like I'm really in a place, you know? Immersion and all that. You can still pull the same tricks, you can still hide stuff around corners, like here, where I killed the Cacodemon and went to get the health or ammo that I assumed was behind it, only to find another Cacodemon hiding back there. Why? So, open the dirt gate to find the pain room. Unluckily, I am a blind man. Can't see. I'm joking, but I really do need new glasses. I got stuck in this room. It's not a bad room to be stuck in. Bodies on the walls, bodies skewered, dead Marines lie upon the soil. Great room. That being said, I could not figure out how to leave. I found the yellow skull, but no yellow door. I tried the teleporters by the doors, but they just led back to the middle. I tried interacting with the walls for a few seconds. I tried shooting stuff on the wall. I ran around for quite some time. I am ashamed to say, I had to look up how to get out of here. And even then, I didn't get it at first. I looked at a map, I saw a door on the map, and I thought that might be the way out. It was a secret. I don't feel good about taking what was inside. After a bit more time on Google, of course, it's the set of teleporters that are flashing. I guess I never tried those ones. How did I miss this door? Nothing much in this room except for a plasma rifle, finally. I saw on the automap that this wasn't just a wall, and I almost walked away after I couldn't open it, but I thought that this bit with the lights might be a secret teleporter or something. Neat little room. Jesus Christ. Okay, well... Finally, I make my way to the blue door. Now I could go to the exit, but there's a little something over here with a single imp. By attacking it, I started a gauntlet. A wave of demons teleport into the room, and I don't even try the door. It's gonna be locked. I felt like I was doing great, but they just kept coming. A Baron appeared and nearly backed me into a corner. One BFG shot and 2 shotgun blasts, and an exciting encounter. Lovely. I expected this gargoyle face to be a button, but it was actually a secret. Another BFG. I have no clue what pressing that skull did, and I will never know. End level. Oh, dear God, my eyes. So yeah, this level is surrounded by lava. Judging by the name of the map, that means that we're at the top of an active volcano. I wish that I picked up on that while playing, because that's awesome. I open the door and marvel at how far we've come. The second enemy I see is a Baron of Hell. Remember how 2 of them were considered a boss battle? They had a whole arena and everything. I'm mocking them, but I was clearly struggling a bit with this one. Wait, what? Why? What a coward. You got hit, dude. Get over it. Alright, that one's understandable. You're pretty much dead anyway. Those weren't there before. Oh, a 5th. The only real option is to run across the lava, which is good. Running on the lava is a crucial part of the level, and players might be afraid to do it if they aren't forced to. Some rockets and... Oh. Well, I didn't want the bridge anyway. There's a bunch of these radiation suits scattered around the map to make sure you can get to all the little areas in the lava. This map is all small areas, most of which are not that interesting. Well, that and monster closets. I like this map visually, but there's just not much to say about it. I did spend a lot of time on this map, but that's because I couldn't figure out what to do. I spent most of my time running around the map looking over places that I had already been to. I'm not saying it's just bad design or anything, you'll see my idiocy later, don't worry. There's just not as much going on as my playtime would suggest. Here, there are 2 specters in a room you have to drop into. These 2 teleporters take you to ledges on the outside that have shotgun shells and a plasma rifle. When you take the plasma rifle, it opens a monster closet. There's this place with the skulls, don't know what to call it. Exiting it opens up a couple of monster closets. There's a wooden box. Wood, famously heat resistant. Maybe it's hell wood or something. Spectre teleports in, a few enemies behind skull buttons, another rad suit. That's it. There's a blue door in this sneaky little passage. There's water in the lava. I don't get it, but who really cares? All that I can really do at that point is just take the teleporter back. Seriously, what are these eyes about? Are they just there? It feels like more than set dressing. I went back and tried to run onto one of these platforms, failed miserably, then accidentally opened a door that I had passed about 10 times already. After killing them, I touched the walls and made some manly grunting noises. I know what it's called, it just sounds weird coming out of my mouth. I left, but I came back twice and specifically checked the auto map to see if there's something in there I missed, because I don't think that there's anywhere else I haven't been. I run around and almost die, so I reload a save. Straight back into the room. This time, the door doesn't open anymore. I assume that I did something to open it last time, so I start interacting with the walls again. Nothing. I reload again. The same thing happens. Fourth time, I avoid the berserk pack until the end. The door stays open. Whatever. Unfortunately, I still had no clue what to do at that point. I ran around the map for a while. Despite being embarrassed about doing it the first time, I had to look it up again. I thought I interacted with all these walls, but I guess not. Gonna be honest, pretty frustrating. It feels more hidden than most of the secrets I've found. In fact, the one with the plasma cells is a secret. You know what? I don't care that I had to look it up. Embarrassment revoked. Putting a single candle in front of it changes nothing. I'll just have to be more observant in the future, I suppose. There's not much in this building, just some demons, but there is the blue skull key. Open the blue door, there's the exit, woo! Par 130, sure. An aggressive start. Also the first starting door that I've been able to open. I almost reloaded a save, but I had grown since the last map. I saved instead. Good thing I saved. I remember moments of this map. I can visualize individual rooms. I could not tell you how they connect, and I know the same could be said when I was playing. I'm glad to say that there's not as much running around to cut out as the last map, but that's a low bar to set. The walls are red bricks here, but it looks like they're being lit up by the enormous pool of blood that takes up most of the room. Gorgeous. I have no idea what this button did, unless it spawned that pinky behind me. The blue skull is just sitting in a corner. I don't know why they bothered dropping the bridge, as if that does anything. Maybe if you never found the sprint key. There's another button about 2 feet from the right of the first one. It opens up this pentagram area with some orb-type demons, and a much-needed supercharge. Obviously, something has to happen in this room. It's too big. I was prepared to see a horde of demons after coming out of this hallway. A single Baron. Lame. The button raises a bridge, but I can't go in there without a red skull key. The other blue door is a much more useful path to take for now. The 2 cacodemons don't shoot or even move out of these little indents in the wall. I did not have to kill them. I feel no guilt. Well, only one way now. I've fallen into what I can only describe as a blood sewer maze. Well, as much of a maze as any of the other mazes in this game. It makes sense that they need a blood sewer, given how much blood there is in this level. I found my way to the end pretty quickly. I didn't mean to take that teleporter, but what else could possibly be down there anyway? The yellow skull seems too far for me to grab right now. Oh, I came out of the other teleporter. There's another one in the center pillar. Surely I can remember which of the 38 teleporters on this map lead where when I need to come back with the yellow skull key. Surely. There's this big blood lake by those two buttons right next to each other, so I went back to the sewers to get a rad suit. While I was down there, I thought that I might as well fully explore it. If you go to the right at the start instead of going left, there's actually another BFG and a teleporter. A skull to press. Okay. I run around, get another rad suit, and then quickly save. I usually wouldn't save like that, but I genuinely could not remember where I had already been and where I hadn't, and I didn't want to have to go all the way back to get another radiation suit if it ran out before I got to where I needed to go. I end up back next to the yellow skull. I failed a couple of times and almost left, but I remembered that moving diagonally is faster than moving straight, as is true for many first-person games, so I gave that a try. So much time, and I just had to move faster. Back in this room, open the yellow door, press the skull, which raises another bridge to another door. Man, this map is all doors, bridges, teleporters, and seas of blood. I had to run around and load saves multiple times to figure out where that door even was. It only took 2 minutes, but it felt like 8. I was prepared for something crazy on the other side of the teleporter because I forgot that that's what an exit teleporter looks like. Now, when I played, I skipped past the intermission screen, but I would like to stop on it here to admire the full 100% completion, ignore the time, 3 big hundos. Oh, it's just right there. I thought it would be best to clear out the arena first so I could focus on the boss. Not that there's much to clear out. A Baron of Hell and 2 Cacodemons. Maybe they're just distractions. This is the Spider Demon, better known as the Spider Mastermind, and it hits like a truck. Good thing I saved my BFG ammo. It looks really cool, but you can't see that because I don't get close enough. This is what it looks like. The name makes more sense now. That chain gun on the front of it might as well be a death ray because it does constant high damage if you're in its sights. Oh, I would have paid more attention to the death animation if I knew it would end that abruptly.
The loathsome spider demon that masterminded the invasion of the moon bases and caused so much death has had its ass kicked for all time. A hidden doorway opens and you enter. You've proven too tough for hell to contain, and now hell at last plays fair. For you emerge from the door to see the green fields of Earth, home at last. You wonder what's been happening on Earth while you were battling evil unleashed. It's good that no hellspawn could have come through that door with you.
What a cool shot to end on. And with a great song, too. It's a little funny that the buildings are all just rectangular prisms, apart from the one behind the blazing building. That one seems to have some windows, at least. Also, a burning building and a decapitated rabbit aren't much in terms of destruction. I'm nitpicking. Fire! Death! The sky is set aflame as hell on earth is unleashed. Really leaves you wanting more. It's clear that I was not a fan of this episode at first. I still think that the first map was bad. But coming back to it after a 2-week break left me in a much more appreciative state. I think that I had a good time the second go around. Not all good though, especially with how turned around I got at some points. When I got lost, it was hard to tell how much of it was the level design being difficult to navigate and a relatively small pool of textures making many areas look annoyingly similar, and how much of it was me running around like a madman, never really giving myself enough time to soak in my surroundings. I don't know why I was in such a rush. I honestly think that I was less immersed than I was in the first episode. I was seeing each map less as an area on my journey that I needed to explore and more of an obstacle course to get through. It's a real shame. Regardless of my experience playing through them, I can't deny the artistry on display in these levels. Maybe it was the freedom of designing levels in hell, maybe it was just more practice with the tools they had at their disposal. Whatever the reason, it feels like they were using the engine to its full potential. I would say that this episode had the most boring boss fight by far, and that's saying something. There's a reason that I didn't spend much time on it. It feels unfinished. An extremely basic arena with 3 regular enemies and the spider mastermind. That was the final level of the original game. Imagine playing through this whole game, shooting and sawing and punching your way through hell, and ending on that. I guess the first and last maps fit together quite well. I know that sounded really negative. I didn't hate it. Probably my least favorite episode though. I feel like I ran around lost more than I actually did anything. Now, I mentioned taking a break from recording that last episode for about 2 weeks. After finishing Inferno, I did not return to this game for over a month. I think it was a good thing though. The immersion that I was missing before returned with a vengeance for this final outing. That's right, there's one more episode. A bonus episode was added into the Ultimate Doom. You know how every other big game these days has a definitive edition? That's essentially what Ultimate Doom is. It was released after Doom 2, but the extra episode takes place between the two games, so I'm playing it now. It's time to begin the final part of this journey. Episode 4,
Thy flesh consume.
They're not pulling any punches with this one. So I have 2 doors, I saw a red skull key, need to get that. I have no idea what this switch does, and demons are teleporting in all over the place. This is a far better start than the last episode. I didn't notice it at first, but you can go inside this middle bit. The ambush is the least of my problems. There's a Baron of Hell, and I need to get rid of it before I go back out, but there's so little space for me to shoot and dodge projectiles. I got it done though. So I had the red key, but as far as I can tell, I only had a blue door and a yellow door. I tried to figure out what this switch does, but I couldn't. I found a secret rocket launcher, but I didn't have enough health to take it. Then I thought it was yellow. A few imps hide behind the wall, and one more guards the blue skull key. The exit's right behind the blue door. Fantastic first map, especially for how small it is. Alright, what is this? Shotgunners, right at the start. Luckily, I can adapt. Unluckily, imps, and I'm not great at dodging projectiles. And a cacodemon. 2 cacodemons. Okay, 3 cacodemons. Okay, 4, 5! I gotta get out of here. Not bad for my first try, I think. If I only knew that I would be on this one level for the next 50 minutes. Guys, I am not good at this game. The beginning of the map was a Hotline Miami-esque marathon of trial and error for me. Let's break this down. 2 staircases are just tall enough to jump onto 2 platforms, each of which have 2 imps and a pinky. More imps are on another platform further back. At the base of the starting platform, there's a radiation suit, and at the base of the island in front of it, there's a supercharge. Both of these are essential. Next to the rad suit, there's a cacodemon that you can bait out by standing close to the ledge. Then, it'll fly up to you, meaning that you don't have to wait to deal with it until you jump down. You already saw the staircase leading back up. The stairs have lava on them, and the door closes after a few seconds, so you have to walk back to trigger it again. This is the start, the beginning, of the second map of the episode. Perfect hatred. Yeah, I have a perfect hatred for you, Romero. Yeah, that's right. The first time I mention a name is a call-out.
I know you made this map, motherfucker!
Yeah, I had a rough time with this one. The best time to jump down is probably when the cacodemons are hovering over the middle island. You can get the radiation suit, then quickly lure them away from the supercharge. I don't think I ever did that. I mostly just ran around trying to memorize what patterns I could. Not my best gameplay. I didn't even play well when I was finally successful. I started off great, baiting the one at the bottom to fly up, but the rest of it, I should have died. I managed to make it to the staircase right as my rad suit wore off. With the biggest threats out of the way, picking off the rest was simple. There's this annoying window with some heavy hitters in it. I don't even have to kill them, there's nothing I can do here until I get a blue skull. Still, I do. I even get the shotgunner hiding around the corner. Oh, there's an imp at the bottom. At the same time? I don't think I ever had that happen before. This bit took me a long time. I died a few more times before I even found out what the button does. Maybe there's a way out in the alcove? Alright, I just need the right amount of health. What? There was something here, wasn't there? Maybe I just need to wait for the walls to go all the way up. I'll even save to make sure I get it. What? No, there was... Huh? I just keep dying. I spent so much time in this one area because I swear I saw something in this little crevice here earlier, and I thought that's where I had to go. I even ran around the lava to see if there was some invisible trigger in the middle somewhere. After a few minutes of trying to find the way forward, I accidentally start the level over. Maybe I should just start over anyway. Maybe when I next get to that room, I can actually do something. I spend the next 6 minutes getting back there with plenty of health and armor, but not much ammo. What do you think I'd do next? Well, of course, I try the crevice a couple more times before realizing that I can obviously just run onto the rising pathway. Walking around the rim leads to a welcome surprise, a plasma rifle. I wasn't prepared for a jump scare. Ooh, I'm actually kind of nasty with it. Ooh, didn't get hit once. Flawless. Not perfect, but at least I got the yellow skull key. I didn't see a door anywhere, but this switch is surrounded by yellow skulls. Of course, pressing it just unveils more enemies on this bastard map. I almost juked the last Baron, but I fell off. This path leads into a cave. Well, I guess this whole map is a cave. Another part of the cave. There's quite a few specters down there, I assume as a trap. You don't see them, or you underestimate how many there are, you jump down, dead. I am not so foolish, right? Guess what? 2 more barons. I count 7 so far. You are so noisy. Cracks in the ground reveal a bit more lava and provide some interesting lighting. I don't know why it's flashing instead of giving a consistent glow, but it doesn't matter. Ooh, chainsaw. Walk up the stairs in the back, and I am grateful for the plasma cells I just picked up. I'd say I handled that pretty well. At last, I could lift this pillar and get to the last section. I can't imagine why I would need all these medkits. That's a cyber demon. He's just there. How did he get there? What? Cacodemons too. So many of them. I died. This took me a minute. Hold on a second. I did try to kill the cyber demon. I failed though, so... Jesus Christ, there's a lot going on right now. Maybe back to the cyber demon. I did manage to kill it. There's a BFG behind it, but I couldn't find out how to get to it. I even jumped down and started looking for secret doors. In the end, I just reloaded and took all the rockets. Man, what a level. Oh yeah, and I now know that there is a secret path out of that lava pit. I just didn't know how to activate it. I actually fully gaslit myself into thinking that I imagined a passageway. I didn't think that there was anything there until I started writing the script and decided to peruse the wiki looking at maps for some of the levels. It's real! Pfft, John Romero. Fucking top dollar looking at.
Hello everybody, my name is Mark.
Okay, if I can talk over the demons and gunfire, I can tell you that this map is one of a kind. Having such a large area outside combined with some verticality means that I can get shot by hitscan weapons and I won't even know where from. This causes constant movement to be a necessity, and forces the player to search in this mess of pixels for the exact configuration that might suggest the presence of a zombie man or a shotgunner. At least for the first minute or so, then it plays like a normal map. I went to check out the other side, but there's not actually a bridge there, uh-oh. Just a barren of hell, though. Nothing that I cannot handle. These stairs are a bit of a struggle. Shooting up isn't that bad, but when you're shooting down, the gun blocks your view. Gaming. Stop reloading! Deal with your mistake! Alright. That was a nice encounter. Clearly there's more in this pit, you can hear the growls, but I wanted to explore a bit more first. The other path just ends up back outside, nothing too interesting. Well, only one thing left to do. So I panicked a little, but it would have been salvageable if I hadn't run into a teleporter and blown myself up. I did much better the second time, even when I got back into a small room. I still didn't see the teleporter though. Push the button, grab the skull, back to the teleporter, since it's the only way that I could get out. How's about I try to get in there with more health? There weren't that many enemies in the end. There is a lot of ammunition and health. Sick. I decided to kill the Baron, but oh man, watching this back is embarrassing. If you don't notice now, you'll see why later. There's an invulnerability here that I can use to go to the red door in that pit. A short fight leads to a blue door, and I reload my save. I'm saying that like I only did it once. I didn't even mention finding a partial invisibility and realizing that there's a whole other pit with a whole new Baron. Speaking of said pit, it has an elevator that leads to the other side. It's been that easy to get there this whole time. At first, it seems like the upper section is inaccessible, but there are elevators to get up there too. The blue skull key, huzzah! It was so simple. You've gotta be kidding me. Dude, no. No, not again, not another red door. I saw it from far away and it looked pretty yellow to me. Blind man. Hey, the end. That was a nice one. I don't know if the specters have ever blended more into the background. Hey, I noticed this one torch being a different color. Clearly I'm paying more attention in here than the last episode. The center of the map is this lovely little courtyard. I say the word courtyard too much. The rest of the map happens behind the doors and halls that can be found around the edges of it. After shooting around a bit, I went back to the torch to grab whatever was in the room I missed. I completely wasted the Berserk pack, unfortunately. Out of all the reasons to reload, I feel like that's a better one than half the times I actually did. Oh well. This area just has power-ups. The red skull is just kinda there. Dude. The arena behind the red door is pretty simple. Kill a few shotgunners, press this face, up the elevator, and the exit is barred off. In the teleporter, press another face, that opens up a monster closet, go back up, kill the cacodemon? Oh, it's 2. Alright. Same thing for the other side. Is that the skybox? How high up is this? That's it? What a short map. Maybe my favorite starting area. I love this. There's even a cacodemon outside the window. Dude, look at the blood fountain. This is sick. The next area is just as good. Not only are there enemies running around the same platform I'm on, but around the edge of the room there are more, shrouded in darkness. Since they're so hard to see, if I wanted to kill them first, I would have to give my full attention to making sure that I knew where they were. Obviously, that's not always an option when I'm having to deal with demons much closer to me. These walls provide decent cover from imp fireballs, but also obstruct my view of the lower sections. This one room is probably the most in line with modern FPS level design that this game has ever gotten, and it works very well, even in such a limited, by today's standards, engine. There's 2 elevators that lead to the ground next to the Blood River. A door in the corner leads to another door that I can't open, but it gives me the opportunity to clear out some demons in a future path. Going back up, I already saw this place through a window before, but now I can view it in all its glory. Look at this, man. Look at this gorgeous room. I don't remember liking this map as much when I played it, but I like it now. After accidentally walking through the window, I step on this red square that I didn't touch earlier. It allows me to pick up the ammo around the edge of the room. There's nothing in the moat apart from some lost souls, trust me, I checked. I found the red skull key just up the elevator, then returned to the small door. I could use the elevator, but going down seems more fun. First, I grabbed the supercharge I saw earlier, then I fought my way to a yellow door. I didn't have the key, but surely I could find it. Found it. Now the exit is right there, and I could have left, but I saw the BFG, and I was positive that I knew how to get it.
Let's go!
So much of this map is going to be cut out, you don't even know. I start out in a winding trench. Don't be deceived, the rest of the map is nothing like this. I emerge from the trench to see a castle. It has a moat and everything. A lava moat. A lava moat that is the only way inside. Whoa. The imp on the left can't seem to shoot me. I have no idea why the fireballs just disappear. Alright, down I go. Some platforms on the edge of the moat, a central cage, and a path to— oh, there's not enough room to fight them right now. Seeing as there's only one other place to go, I drop down and find two more. I can semi-confidently say that there are no secret walls in this pit. Maybe I wasn't supposed to go down there. I took my chances with the cacodemons. My second try went much better. Also, this still just leads to the lava pit. The pillar in the center actually has elevators on each side that bring you up to a teleporter. My second attempt was more cautious. Unfortunately, I still died. When I tried to go back, it took me to a completely different place. Weird. A couple more tries and I made it back again. I didn't die this time, woo! This room is like an auditorium with a window to the outside. It would probably be rather pleasant if it weren't in hell. Great. Now I have to worry about getting shot from behind fake walls. So I was trying to get the teleporter to take me to a different place again, but it just wouldn't. I was confused for a minute, but it didn't take many more trips through to understand. It brings you to a different place depending on which side you enter the teleporter from. I didn't even know that that was possible. Next stop is the Baron holding cell. As you could probably imagine, trying to aim between the bars is not easy. If it wasn't auto-aiming, I'd probably think that I wasn't actually doing any damage. I forgot how to dodge. A cacodemon showed up the second time. I don't know how. It was just blocking a face switch that does something, I'm sure. The last side of the teleporter put me on a platform high enough to get into that central cage from earlier. I can finally grab the blue skull key sitting on the parapet. The same platform also allows me to do a sick jump into an otherwise inaccessible area. It isn't that interesting. It's just a hallway with some demons, then another hallway with a Baron, and then the red skull key. Picking up the red skull key triggered a couple of interesting effects. First, it raised bridges between different sections of the map, making the teleporter unnecessary. Second, Cyberdemon. Just there? Again? Yes, again. I'm just going to avoid it for now and move on to using these skulls. Let me just save first. Another switch that does something, I'm sure. I now have all three skull keys. After trying and failing to take down the Cyberdemon from various angles, I made my way back to the auditorium. I can go outside now, and it's just some demons and some doors with more demons and switches. The switches lower the bars blocking you from running out the window. The bars on the left of the room let you run into a teleporter. I have no idea where that leads because I completely forgot about it after picking up a BFG and finding myself right next to the Cyberdemon. Well, it's not the ideal battlefield, but it's the only one that I have. And just like that, I make my escape. This map feels exactly how it should. It's not the last map, but I know that the next map is. The last map of the episode. The last map of the game. It introduces a mechanic that I never encountered before. Disappearing walls. Some of it is fairly peaceful. Half of the map is made up of these small rooms connected by relatively narrow hallways. I reach one of the larger rooms to face an attempted assault by a few imps. I'm reminded of the fact that when I started this game, that may have been an intimidating sight. Now, I don't even bother with my shotgun after the first few seconds. In the first episode, 2 barons made a boss battle. Now they're more tedious than threatening. I'm a bigger danger to myself with this rocket launcher in my hands. I exercise more caution next time. After double checking the room for hidden doors, I ended up running face first into another disappearing wall. The body of a fellow Marine lies on the floor. As I step over it, the floor raises. It's an altar. The yellow skull key? Nothing else? It can't be that simple. I'm going to get pummeled the instant I go back out. Or not? Okay. I'm not sure what those bars were supposed to do. Maybe they're just ominous. Regardless, the presence of so many rockets and the BFG just there put me on edge. I honestly thought that this face on the floor might be the level exit. No, it's just preparing me for the last part of the map. After pressing a few more face switches, I make my way to the final arena. Did they always move? I guess they're not dead yet, despite being impaled. There are 2 ways to go once you drop into the poison. One just leads to ammo. The other, locked behind a red gate, leads to another skull switch. Before I left, I thought I'd make sure I went through the whole map, especially since it gave me a full auto map near the start. There was one area down a secret elevator that I hadn't encountered yet. At first, it seemed to be a simple hallway. Then, after killing the demons inside, I walked forward a little. I wasn't expecting crushers. There's not actually anything down there, just a teleporter that takes you out. Alright, this is it. One more map. Something you might notice while watching is that this is an entire level. Unlike with the other bosses, there's a whole map you have to go through before you can even get to the boss. This pleases me greatly. As the stone door ascended, I was met with the faces of several space marines. I brought them down with ease. I opened the door a second time, a horde of them charged at me. Just as before, they never had much of a chance. I'd never seen so many in one place. It made me think about how many of these former humans I had killed, how I didn't even hesitate when doing so, and how fucking sick it felt to plow through them. So satisfying. I jumped down to get rid of these pinkies and then opened the walls on either side of the semicircle path. The first wall hides the red skull key. The second, a teleporter. My panic didn't get me killed this time. When taking out the Baron, I'm careful to keep a bit of distance from the stairs in case the auto-aim doesn't kick in. After tearing through the enemies in this last room and the cacodemon that snuck up on me, I took a second to look around before heading down the elevator. I found... Look, you see what this is. To get onto the pillars, you have to sprint at the right angle or use rockets, I assume. I never tried rockets. I spent too much time here trying to get as much as I could, which probably isn't as much as you think. I'm acknowledging it now, but I'm gonna cut out the rest of its appearances. There's 2 Barons in this small corridor, and I decided that the best weapon to use in this situation would be a rocket launcher. Oh look, the yellow skull key. One more time. Hey, I did it! There's a teleporter further in that takes me back to the first area, where I now have both of the keys needed to open these walls. More Barons of Hell to demolish? Don't mind if I do! With 2 more switches, a bridge rises from the lava, giving me a path to my final showdown. With who, you might ask? The Spider Mastermind again. Don't question it. One final battle. I began my assault with the BFG, using it a bit poorly, but still getting the job done. I destroyed Barons, cacodemons, lost souls, only taking a couple of BFG shots at the boss. Then I gave it more of my attention with rockets. Well, what rockets got around the pillar anyway. I ran to one of the side entrances and ran up the stairs, killing anything that stood in my way. At the top stood a cache of rockets, but I never needed them. I had the BFG. Using the pillar for cover, I used every last cell I had left. With my last shot, the Spider Mastermind fell at last. Hey, I got to see more of the animation this time. Sick. Slowly, the center pillar lowers into the ground, revealing a portal home. At last, Doomguy can return.
The Spider Mastermind must have sent forth its legions of hellspawn before your final confrontation with that terrible beast from hell. But you stepped forward and brought forth eternal damnation and suffering upon the Horde, as a true hero would in the face of something so evil. Besides, someone was gonna pay for what happened to Daisy, your pet rabbit. But now you see spread before you more potential pain and gibbitude as a nation of demons run amok in our cities. Next stop, Hell on Earth.
There he is! All beat up and shot at and scratched. What is that haircut? That's not how it looks on the HUD. Oh my, ugh. Alright, whatever. So the decapitated rabbit from the end of the last episode wasn't just some random rabbit? What? No, I knew that. I can only assume that wasn't the plan from the start, but giving the rabbit head more meaning and saying Doomguy has a pet rabbit? How could I not like that? Man, what a great episode. A fitting end to the game. A better ending than episode 3 would have been, in my opinion. I was fully immersed from start to finish. So much so that I didn't realize it took me 3 hours to complete this episode. And it's not like I took an hour-long break in the middle of my recording, no, 3 hours of gameplay. Numerous deaths, unnecessary backtracking, and playing it a bit too safe sometimes. I might have saved more times than all 3 other episodes combined just to get through it. You can say it was save scumming if you want. I guess the manual encourages it, but I didn't know that at the time. It's just weird because that kind of min-maxing resources usually bothers me. Enough about me. Primo level design, great enemy and item placement, interesting locations, it has everything. It was challenging, but it rarely felt unfair in any way. I had lots of fun with this one. There's really not much else to say, it was just an all-around great episode, maybe my favorite. Oh yeah, and I missed the 9 Inch Nails Easter egg in map 1. Shame. So, that was Doom. Wild ride, right? There's so much that I wasn't able to mention because this video is already so long, and I don't want to understate anything by compressing a 10-minute story into 45 seconds. Still, I'm gonna try to get out most of my thoughts about this here. I'm wondering how my feelings after my first playthrough might differ from somebody that was my age when it came out. I wanted to at least have a somewhat similar experience, so Chocolate Doom was my source port of choice after some research. Sorry to anyone that hates chunky pixels, but it never bothered me. If I had the money, I'd probably buy an old PC and a physical copy of the game. I might have even gotten the manual that way. Man, the manual. I really wish that I had read the manual before playing. I had no idea that the face on the HUD would look to wherever you got hit from. I don't know if it would be helpful, considering it only looks left or right, probably just distracting. Still, it's a cool feature. I didn't know that the auto map has a ton of other controls. I thought that you just hit tab to view it. You can zoom in or out, move the map without moving in game, see the whole map at once. You can even place a marker where you're standing. That would have been useful to know. I wasn't sure that the Berserk pack only affected punching damage. I had seen a bit of it before playing, so I've seen what it could do, but I didn't know the specifics. There were times where I just didn't melee at all because it didn't feel like it was doing much when I hit enemies with it, and I was getting in their face so they could easily do tons of damage to me, so it never felt worth the risk. I'm sure that if I had targeted lesser enemies more, I could have used it more effectively. I also didn't know that it lasts the whole level, because why would I think that? Every other power-up that has a screen effect runs out at the same time that the effect stops. Having one that doesn't work like that is just confusing. To be fair, I didn't even utilize the health they give properly, let alone the added power. I wasted so many medkits early on. I'd be at like 94% health and pick up a whole medkit. I was just picking up whatever I could. I'm sure that there were a few times where it really set me back, but it didn't hurt that much. I eventually learned to save enough to be able to die and then run around getting health without losing too much time. All of that has to do with me. Let's talk about the game itself. The level design was fantastic. Almost all of the maps are extremely memorable, with an engaging path to the end. So much was pumped into the visuals of this game, it feels like the maps are integral to the story, not just there for the sake of having something for the player to go through. The great texture work helps, especially in Hell. Skin, flesh, blood, and hellfire contrast nicely with the cold stone, technology, and nuclear waste of the UAC facilities. Add wood, dirt, stone bricks, greenery, lampposts, skulls, candles, mascarons, mutilated bodies, and whatever the hell these eyes are supposed to be, and you have a gorgeous visual style to project onto your maps. I spoke on the first map about that dramatic flair, and that stays true throughout. Be it the maze-like cargo area, or the islands at the top of the volcano, or the blood fountain, blood sewer, or blood river, these maps have style. And all the alcoves and secrets? Lovely. Seeing the whole rewarding exploration thing pulled off well is refreshing. Too many games try to do the same thing with far larger levels, even open worlds, and it rarely works as well as in Doom. The music was mostly great, but kinda hit or miss. There are a lot of gems in there, but there's also On the Hunt, so, you know, can't win them all. It rarely bothered me, even with my least favorite tracks. I usually only found it annoying when I was on a level for a particularly long time with one of the more repetitive ones in my ear throughout the whole thing. I liked most of it, and it added a lot to the atmosphere of any given level. The weapons were well crafted, each felt like it had its own purpose. Obviously the fist is just so you aren't completely helpless if you run out of ammo. The chainsaw is just a much better version of the same thing, but because of its ability to stun lock some enemies, it's great as a way to conserve ammo instead of just as a last resort. The pistol is a step above the fist, but not anything else. Even if you're supposed to be more vulnerable at the start, it's important to have a way to deal with long-range altercations. Also, if you don't have a chain gun, those bullets aren't going anywhere without the pistol, so might as well use it. The shotgun is the real through line of the game, useful at any range, which is unusual for a shotgun. There was rarely a shortage of shells. The chain gun is in the same area as the chainsaw in that it's a better version of another weapon, this time the pistol, and is fast enough to stun lock some enemies. It doesn't conserve ammunition, but it's better for lost souls and cacodemons. I should have used the rocket launcher more. I think that I was afraid of blowing myself up as I did on many occasions. It was very powerful when I used it properly, exactly what you would expect from a rocket launcher. The plasma rifle was an interesting one, stronger than the chain gun with the trade-off of slower projectiles. Even if you're good at leading your shots, which I am not, demons still turn on a dime, so it's best used at closer range unless you have cells to spare. Though your cells might be better used with the BFG. For crowds, for bosses, for when the other weapons in your arsenal won't cut it, there's the BFG, a unique offensive tool. The power-ups were pretty nice. The Mega Armor, Supercharge, and Vulnerability backpack, those are pretty standard. The partial invisibility was interesting despite not being super intuitive. I guess that it does apply the same visual effect that the Spectres have to you, so it makes sense that it just makes you harder to hit. I didn't find myself using the area map much, but that's because I didn't use the auto map much. The light amplification goggles were never really useful. Apart from that one maze, I can't remember a time where I felt like they really did anything. I think that I would prefer if, instead of making everything bright for a short time, they just made everything a little brighter for the entire map. The anti-radiation suit seems uninteresting on the surface, but when I needed it to properly explore certain parts of the map, it was nice to see. I have no idea how it worked on lava, but I'm not complaining. Finally, the Berserk Pack was a good way to make the fist something that you see outside of the most dire situations, even if I didn't always use it properly. The different demons all had great designs, even if one of them isn't fully original, though the pinky looks absurd from the side. The mix of differing attacks, health pools, and movement options made combat more interesting than many other games with a similarly low number of enemies. A single pinky isn't that intimidating, but seeing a room full of them, knowing that all it takes is one to hold me in place for long enough for the others to surround me? A bit more concerning. Watching a cacodemon slowly rise out of a pit or start to peek around a corner never got old and was kinda scary sometimes. Even the lost souls, as annoying as they are, were still a decent addition. Then the bosses, man. The boss designs were so cool. Really, look at these. But the actual battles were underwhelming in comparison. They were all just shoot at it until it dies, and I'm not just saying that to force a reference to a meme too old for me to have possibly learned about it while it was still relevant. I know that there was only so much that they could pull off at the time. This game was already revolutionary, but the arenas could have had more going on. I think that Unto the Cruel, the last map of episode 4, was the only satisfying one. There was a whole level to it. Even if they just scaled up that boss room and made that arena the whole thing, it already would have been more interesting than the other three. Actually, the first one was not bad. Still nowhere near as good, but a bit better than the middle two. I'm just saying, a Baron of Hell is basically just a step up from an imp, mechanically speaking. Bigger, more health, stronger projectiles. The Cyber Demon is the same step up for a Baron of Hell, but the projectiles have splash damage and fire faster. If you can dodge imp fireballs, you can probably dodge the Cyber Demon's rockets. Yes, I know I died to them. Still. The entire strategy for the cyber demon is just to run around constantly and shoot when you have the opportunity. And I think that if the fight can't be that interesting, then the level should be. There's only so much that looking cool can do for a boss. The limitations of the hardware they were working with at the time don't seem to be an issue anywhere else, just with lackluster bosses. In fact, the only error that I encountered was a few times where a sound wouldn't play. This was rare. I didn't even know that the game ran at 35 FPS, and I couldn't even notice it most of the time. I assume that's because of the low resolution. It doesn't matter if I get 4 frames or 8 frames of movement info if it's only moving 1 pixel over anyway, as long as it happens at the right time. It felt really smooth most of the time. I'm talking about limitations, but at the time, this game must have been wild to see. When they started development, id put out a press release about how revolutionary Doom would be. Not a week before release, not after they could prove it. Call it confidence or cockiness, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that despite not fulfilling all that they promised in the press release, the general message was correct. It's crazy how influential this game was. It pioneered new technology, made the FPS genre what it is today. Some even credit it as the origin of speedrunning. Even crazier, it was made by just a handful of people. You probably recognize some of their work even if you don't know it. Call of Cthulhu? The Call of Cthulhu. Wild. Oh yeah, and then there's all of John Carmack's contributions to the technical side of the gaming industry, which I'm not even going to start to list. There are many good reasons why these names are well known. The team behind Doom was about the size of some indie studios today, and this is the game that they made. The right people in the right place made this happen. I can't imagine where gaming would be without it. If you were expecting this video to be some sort of vicious takedown of a beloved classic by some kid who's too out of touch with the old days to understand, I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm not completely new to this stuff. I've seen videos, heard people talk about the old days. I played some PS1 games in my childhood. We even had an Atari. Flashback 2. Still counts. I'm just saying that a lot of people seem to think that there's this massive disconnect between any two people of differing generations. That the only reaction that somebody could have to something older or newer than what they're used to is disgust and disregard. While that might be true for some, it's not all. I find this stuff fascinating. I love learning about things from before I was even born. Even though they happened on the same planet as me, they're not really in the same place. So much has happened in those places, those times. Through games, movies, music, all these stories, I can get a small glimpse into a world that I'll never have the chance to visit, and it's wonderful. As terrified as I am of inching ever closer to death with every second that passes, I can't wait to know what it's like when I'm 35, even 50 years old, seeing younger people experience the same thing with a past that I've lived through. What was I talking about? Oh, Doom. Final verdict. Game is good, game is fun, glad I could play this one. Playing it was a great experience. Learning about it made it even better. I'm excited to learn more, and thank you to the members of id Software that helped this happen. That's about all I have to say. If you enjoyed this and want to see me go through Doom 2, good news, I will be doing just that eventually, so stay tuned. Until then, I will be doing other things of various natures. I'm not really focusing this channel on just gaming or just music or just anything. So if there's something you want to see me do or talk about, or if there's a video that you've wanted to see but nobody has made, or if you just want me to do something dumb, let me know. I appreciate any and all suggestions, even the dumb ones. If you want to support me, there's a Ko-fi link in the description. If you want to play Doom now, please do. It's cheap, it's fun, it's worth it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.